Tonight on 7 News, we discuss how minority groups are often not being represented in mainstream media.
Your hosts tonight are Poppy, Shamini and Mia.
What is a representation?
A representation is where people are portrayed in a particular way. In doing so, it creates stereotypes and often defines social ideologies.
Everything you see in the media is a construction. Any type of media that we consume is constructed through someone else's opinion. It is created to make us believe everything that we see and hear in the media.
Our first platform that we are looking at today is TV news, more specifically, the American entertainment Fox News. Recently, there was a segment revealing the Oscar nominations for 2016.
All right, we have the Fox 411 on the Academy Award nominations. They were announced this morning. So who competes for Best Picture? Julie Banderas joins us. Julie.
Yeah, getting very exciting. Taking center stage at the Oscar nominations this morning was Leonardo DiCaprio and his movie The Revenant, which garnered 12 nominations in all, including one for the biggest honor of the night, Best Picture, and DiCaprio's fifth Oscar nod for Best Actor. The gritty 19th century drama about survival and revenge competes against the following: the ensemble comedy The Big Short, Steven Spielberg's Cold War thriller Bridge of Spies, a sweeping love story set in the 1950s called Brooklyn, the graphic novel-styled action-packed Mad Max Fury Road, this year's space adventure The Martian, the gripping drama for which Brie Larson already won a Golden Globe, Room, plus the investigative true story Tale of Spotlight. Up for Best Actor are Bryan Cranston for his portrayal of 1950s blacklisted screenwriter Dalton Trumbo in Trumbo, Matt Damon of The Martian, DiCaprio with that nod for The Revenant, Michael Fassbender for his role as Steve Jobs, and Eddie Redmayne of The Danish Girl. Up for Best Actress are Cate Blanchett of Carol, Golden Globe winners Brie Larson of Room, and Jennifer Lawrence in Joy.
The invisible representation in the source reflects the lack of black people in the Hollywood film industry. Even the news anchors that were featured in this presentation were all white, yet are the actors being celebrated. In celebrating success but limiting black representation, associations with negative stereotypes are highlighted. Not portraying the talent or skills of black actors, directors, or writers can lead people to believe falsely that there is no talent here at all.
How disappointing. Now we are going to take a look at an online newspaper article. The online Washington Post issue on the 7th of March 2017 reflects the lack of black representation. Out of all the images and articles on the main tab, only 4 African Americans were featured out of a stacking of 60 images. To add to these findings, the 4 black people were close to the bottom of this page. This Washington Post page highlights that the African American representation is so limited it forces them to become a minority. The importance of this in relation to hegemonic beliefs impacts those who grow up not seeing themselves in mainstream media.
Thanks for that, Shamini. Our next platform is TV shows. Popular TV shows such as Friends, The Big Bang Theory, and Gossip Girl hardly feature any African Americans at all, and if casted, only a limited selection are portrayed. These TV shows leave the impression that African Americans are the minority, and again convey the ideology that there is no talent here at all.
Very interesting points you have there, Poppy. We will be back after the break with more. Hold up. Did you guys see that ad? What a disgrace. But it does just so happen to bring us to our next platform of advertisements. So ads are seen millions of times a day. And how many times do you think a black person is featured in these ads? Yeah, not many. Yet when they are seen, it is not normally in the most positive way. This ad, for example, portrays the white lady as upper class and wealthy, yet she still goes and treats that child like a dog. This creates the ideology that black people, especially children, do not fit in the upper class category, but instead they are victimized as part of the poverty line. This stereotype is damaging for young black children. They would grow up believing that they are worth no more than a dog. Even worse, white children could grow up believing that they are much better than black children, eventually leading to this terrible stereotype being reality.
That advertisement was an absolute disgrace to the African American people. Another platform of media that defines the minority group of African Americans is magazines. This platform is a popular source of media, although maybe not for all audiences. Before today's show, our team googled the popular Teen Vogue brand of 2016 and clicked on the Images tab. As you can see, out of the 43 images of the magazine covers, only about 12 are African Americans, even with one woman featuring 3 kinds. Although we have not flicked through the magazines themselves, from this information here, we can already tell that the majority featured inside will be white women. This creates the stereotype that black people aren't as good looking or even looked up to as white women. This marginalises this group as being almost invisible and can be very unhealthy for young black women growing up. It also prevents white women from actually being culturally sensitive to these other races.
Our final platforms is films, with the analysis of the film La La Land. This popular and recent movie was released in 2016, and with its popularity meaning that most people have viewed it already. It only contains 2 African American actors in the entirety of the film. The black actor seen is the well-known music artist John Legend. He is only in this movie for a little bit, and he doesn't have many speaking roles. There is also no black leads in this movie, which leaves an effect that this group is being marginalized and is being thrown in the background. The lack of representation here limits people's views towards this particular group. This can be damaging for young black children growing up in a society where most actors and idols are white. Again, this sadly reinforces the ideology that African Americans aren't as talented as white people are, and it also emphasizes the idea of inequality between both races.
The conclusions that can be made from these media representations are that there is a lack of depictions of African Americans. Many ideologies that are portrayed in these platforms, such as the belief that they are not talented at all, they aren't as good looking, and they aren't respected enough to be featured in magazines, TV shows, or films, can influence others to believe falsely that this is true.
Black people are being marginalised as being in the background in any media platform. The media could represent this group much better by displaying more of a balance between the races, so that children can grow up feeling more included in their society.
That's all for tonight's edition of 7 News. Hope you enjoyed. From all the team, have a good night.